Hey, good morning guys, Tush coming at you. It's Monday, January the 4th, just coming up to 11:15 in the morning. Last day of vacation, so I want to try to make it count. It's cold out here today. It's only about 3 degrees Celsius in the garage. Actually, it's probably hovering around 2. So it's damn cold outside. It's probably about minus 13, minus 14 outside. So comparatively, it's fairly comfortable in here. Anyway, we've got the heater on full. We'll get this warm up in a little bit. I could put the kerosene heater on, but I think we'll just stick it out and just wait for the temperature to come up with a small heater. Anyway, I think what we're going to do today is we're going to start stripping some other panels. Since I can't go any further on that front valance, I do have this big pile of parts up there that needs to be stripped down, paint stripped off. So I think what I'll do is I'll grab the fenders from the pile there. I think I'd prefer to do the rear fenders first, although I see that the top two ones are the front fenders, but we may dig those down, and I just kind of like to do the rears. I know I need quite a bit of work done on the rears. I need to weld a flange back on the rear of those fenders, so I was hoping to do that in the next week or so. So I think we'll start stripping the rear fenders first. Anyway, we'll see when we pull down. I'll give you another shot, see what I'm starting with. Alright guys, here's what we have for the rear fenders. Obviously this is not the original color of this car. This was painted apparently in the 1970s, I think early 70s. And this is a Ford color according to the previous owner, who was the second owner of the car. So it doesn't look too bad on the outside. Again, I had to cut the rear flange off to be able to get this off the car. It was totally rusted on, and as you can probably see, I've also had to cut off all of the bolts that were in the cage nuts. So all of those cage nuts have to come off as well at some point. I've got to take the chrome beading off, or the stainless steel beading off as well. And here you can see the interior of the fender, and it is filthy dirty. I guess it's a combination of undercoating and mud and rust, so that'll be fun to get off, but we'll get them to look a lot better, and we'll see what kind of condition they're in once we get all this stuff removed. So it's going to be a bit of an adventure. Oh, the other thing I need to do is take the stone guards off, so we'll take those off as well. It's too bad that the new ones don't fit as well as the old ones, because these ones are pretty pitted on the bottom. I don't think I can save those. I'd like to be able to, but I think we're in for some new stone guards as well in the future. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. We'll get to stripping. I'm going to use a chemical stripper on these panels. Every time I think of strippers, I think of Ruben and his trip to Home Depot with the blonde strippers and the brunette strippers. Anyway, there's the French. So I'm just using this super remover. I think it's probably more meant for furniture than it is for auto body, but it seems to work okay on body panels as well. So we'll brush that on there and let it do its work, and then we'll scrape it off into a box and we'll get rid of it. Alright guys, we'll get to it. So come back. Just back on the stone guards, and we've got them removed. And the only problem with the stone guards is they do a good job of protecting the exterior of the fender, but the only problem is they rust quite a bit in behind because they collect a whole bunch of moisture and road debris, etc. So you end up with something that looks like that, and then something that looks like this. So this is a black car, so that's the original paint. So these are the original stone guards. So you can see how much crud gets sort of trapped in there and how much rust is formed. So gonna need some serious repairs down in this area. Anyway, we'll move on to the rest. That's actually better than the other side. The other side has got a pretty good hole in it along the flange, so we're gonna need a whole new flange and quite a bit more work on this fender as well. So anyway, I knew that was gonna be a problem, but we'll see what it looks like when we get it all cleaned up. Maybe if I'm careful I can keep the original paint. kidding. Well, here's the other fender, and I'd say it's had a little work done to it. Just a little Bondo in it. Wow. All right. Interesting. I noticed down here actually it didn't have any black paint, so obviously it got stripped down to bare metal at some point down here. So this has had some work on it down in this area. So anyway, interesting. All right, guys, back with a quick update for you. So this is after 2 coats of the stripper, and it's just been scraped down with a flexible scraper. So we've still obviously got a bit of primer and a little bit of paint left on there and some Bondo. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab the 80 grit disc, flat disc on a grinder, and we're going to grind off the rest of primer and paint and Bondo. There's the pile of debris so far. So we'll do that. We've just wiped it down with some paper towel to get rid of the excess, any excess stripper on there. So, and we've let it dry for about an hour or so. Anyway, we're going to make sure we wear a mask when we do this. We're going to grind it down to bare metal. All right, guys. I'm absolutely amazed at the amount of Bondo in this fender. It's unbelievable and really unnecessary. Looks like the car's been hit in the back, and they were trying to do some repairs here. Looks like there's a bit of a indent there, but there was so much Bondo in the middle here, I'm not quite sure what they were doing. Anyway, we're getting there. Going to switch to the DA sander now. Alright guys, quick update for you, just coming up to 10 to 3, and we've got the first fender done, and it looks pretty good with the exception of that piece that I showed you before, but it's come up not too bad. It's fairly solid. It needs a lot less work than the other fender does, but we'll come back to that. So the rest of the fender actually looks pretty good, with the exception of the rear that I showed you already. I sort of uncovered that as we were going along. We got a bit of a ding there, and then we've got a lot of little dings in the back here. I'm assuming that either backed into something or somebody hit them. But there's a pretty good crease here. It's pretty deep. I'm surprised they didn't actually try to hammer it out from the inside. They obviously didn't take the fender off the car. They probably just tried to repair it on the car. So that's why that crease is still in there. So I'll clean the rest of that filler out at some point, and we'll get the hammer and dolly, and we'll bring that out a little bit and see what we can do as far as the other dents are concerned as well. It's been a little bit of work done on this fender previously. I can tell here by this end cap piece, this actually has been another piece welded in here. So I'll have to take that out and reshape that as well. So it doesn't look too bad. Like I said, there's a heck of a lot of body filler in that for absolutely no reason whatsoever that I can see. So anyway, we'll move on to the second panel, and hopefully that won't take us too long. We'll come back. Alright guys, just coming up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the second fender is done, which is the passenger side rear fender. The exterior is done, and you can see this one's got a little damage in the back as well. A few big dents that I can pound out, and obviously that flange is missing down there, so we'll have to put that back on. But for the most part, it's pretty good in the rear of the panel and the top. And then, like I said, this one's a little bit more worse for wear at the front. So that's going to take some work up there for sure. That'll be a little fun patch to put in there. And there's the other one I showed you already. So this is the driver's side. And that looks pretty good. It's better at the front than this one, and worse in the rear. Like I said, I should be able to get a little hammer and dolly work done on this one, and that'll make it look much better. So that's it for now, guys. We'll upload this. We'll clean the garage. We've got a big pile of stuff over here, and she's pretty dusty. So I think what we'll do is we'll get the cars out of the way. We'll move the cars out of the driveway. We'll fire up the old leaf blower, do the old My Friend Pete trick, and we'll leaf blower the place out before we put the cars back in the driveway and the TR6 back in the garage. Alright guys, that's it for now. We'll talk to you later.